Well, this is the first year the Packers haven't made the playoffs since 2008. But you know, on the bright side, at least Dom Capers and Ted Thompson. Ted Thompson's no longer GM and Dom Capers is fired as a defensive coordinator. So at least that's a bright side to why we not made the playoffs. At least there's a bright side to this. So I expect for Green Bay to be way better next year. Rodgers just has to stay healthy. Hopefully we get some players this offseason for the defense and offense. Offensively, we really don't need that many, but add a few more pieces maybe there, here and there. But Green Bay's not in the playoffs. I mean, if changes had to be done, if we had to not make the playoffs for changes to not be done, if we made the playoffs, actually, changes would have never been done. But, I mean, all Packers fans, I know we all want to make the playoffs every year, but at least there's a bright side to this. But, I mean, the Vikings, they'll probably go one and done anyways. I mean, the Vikings aren't going to do anything with winning the North. So, that's that. I expect the Rams to beat the Falcons and then go on. So you can lose to the... No, we'll beat the Cards' ass, cattle dog. Cards ain't shit. Vikings can win. I mean, they got the defense, but to be honest, I don't think they're... You're not in the playoffs this year, though, so... Vikings, they got the defense, but, I mean, they got Casey Keenum as quarterback, and the Super Bowl is in Minnesota. So there's no team that's ever been to the Super Bowl into their own stadium. Injuries like you, but worse. Yeah, the Cardinals need a lot of help. They need a quarterback. They need to draft a quarterback. I think it's going to either be the Rams or the Saints winning the division. I mean, not the division, going to the Super Bowl. Mayfield. I mean, he looked pretty good last night, but I don't know if he'll fall to you guys, but we'll see. I think Saints or the Rams are going to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Obviously, the AFC is either Pittsburgh or New England. AFC is so weak. At least we're going to get a new GM. At least, hopefully this GM actually goes out and spends money. I mean, Ted Thompson, he really didn't do much. What of defense? Move up in draft. Yeah, maybe possibly try to trade up in the draft. What defense am I looking for? I mean, I would love to see Vic Fangio come to Green Bay. I mean, I think we're probably going to interview him. It's probably going to be 3-4. That's what type of scheme I think we're going to have. We're going to look for a defensive coordinator that does a 3-4 defensive scheme. And I think Elliott Wolf should be the GM of the Packers. I mean, Cardinals, they probably could trade up with the Browns. I mean, the Browns are stupid enough to probably trade one of their picks. So maybe you guys could fall to the fourth pick and they could draft Baker Mayfield. What do you think of Jimmy Garoppolo and San Francisco Cattle Dog? You think he's gonna work out well there? I mean, obviously, I hope you probably hope he doesn't, since you're a Cards fan. At least 2018 is a bright side for Green Bay. I mean, we had to get rid of our GM, and then we had to get rid of our defensive coordinator. I know a lot of people are saying we should have got rid of Mike McCarthy too, but we gave him one more year to see what he's about. And if he doesn't work out, by next year, we'll probably have another head coach. Aaron Rodgers just has to stay healthy. That's my opinion. Aaron Rodgers just has to stay healthy, so the whole offensive line needs to hold up for him. But we'll see. I don't think the Vikings are going to win the division again next year. The Vikings are that team, they win the division, and then the next year they fall off again. I don't know why, but that's the Vikings. But we do play the NFC West next year, so we do play Arizona. What is it? Is it going to be in Arizona or is it going to be in Green Bay, Cow Dog? And if the Cow Dog left. I think the biggest need would probably be for the defense. We need a pass rusher. We need some corners maybe. I don't know if we're going to address that in the free agency this year or the draft. More than likely probably the draft. But depending on what our new GM, I don't think there's much players out there in the defensive part. Hope so. What you prefer? What do you mean? Honestly, I think our biggest need would be the defense. Our defense has been... We already re-signed Devontae Adams, so I don't think our need is receivers. Maybe an offensive lineman. Because our offensive line was pretty banged up. I think Cowboys' biggest need would probably be receiver. I don't know if Des Bryant's going to come back, but... Not sure yet. I would probably say pass rush, maybe. Health will be key. I don't think he can hold up. Who's that, Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, we'll see. I mean, for now, the 49ers ended up going 5-0 with Jimmy Garoppolo. But that's probably because teams will figure him out probably next year, but we'll see. The 49ers get that defense going. They get a number one receiver, though. They're a team to look out for. Should be interesting to play them. But yeah, I would have to say pass rush is probably the biggest need for the Packers. That's probably who I think they're going to go after first in the draft. And then probably address their secondary. Bengals signed Marvin Lewis to the... So he's back as head coach now, Crazy Dog. Marvin Lewis is back as head coach. For a second, I thought that was why the Browns did bring back Hugh Jackson as their head coach. But then, now that Marvin Lewis is coming back as head coach now, I guess. Yeah, you guys do need defense. How sad for the Bengals and Browns. They bring back both their head coaches who suck. Like they obviously don't see the big problem with that. Now, I honestly would, if I would have to predict for the Browns, Crazy Dog, I think the Browns, I don't know if they'll repeat going 0-16 again, but if they do, they obviously have to fire Hugh Jackson again, because they'll have a lot more talent on their team. And if they go 0-16 again with Hugh Jackson, he's awfully out the door. Yeah, I do think the Cowboys' biggest need would be defense. But obviously, though, they do need a receiver. I think Dak Prescott's going to be okay, though. But Hugh Jackson ruined Kaiser. I agree. I agree with that statement. I agree he did ruin DeShone Kizer, and he's not going to get any better next year either. But they're probably going to draft a quarterback again, so he's probably not going to be starting again next year. If the Browns got a good head coach, DeShone Kizer could thrive in that offense. A head coach who knows what he's doing. I feel kind of bad for Corey Coleman, though. He dropped that pass, and then it ended up being the Browns' misery to go 0-16. But how about it, though, Crazy Dog? You gonna attend that? You gonna attend that 0-16 parade? How sad is it for Browns fans, though, to have a parade of going 0-16? I don't even think the Lions fans, they didn't even have a parade going 0-16. Yeah, since we finished third, I think we play the Falcons and the Redskins out of the NFC South and NFC East. And I think it's the NFC West and then the AFC East we play. Yeah. At least some changes are coming for Green Bay. I mean, my feed ducks. New defensive coordinator and a new GM for Green Bay. If we could bring in a GM who actually goes out and spends, that'd be good. A little deeper, but if... What do you think about Des Bryant, though? The foundation. What do you think about him? You think he's going to come back? Because then you say he's not going to take a pay cut or something? Year 3's got to be a big year for Dak Prescott. Well, let's see. This Bryant's been playing off, though, as of late. If we could bring in a GM who actually knows what he's doing and goes out and gets players and surrounds them around Aaron Rodgers, I think we'll be pretty good. Possibly win a Super Bowl or two, maybe. Hopefully. I know we're going to go back to the playoffs again next year. Aaron Rodgers just has to stay healthy. Oh yeah, Prescott needs to work on his footwork. Packers, I think, needs O-line depth. Yeah, we do. I think we need some O-line. Yeah, Prescott, I think his second year, after the first year, he was pretty good. And then the second year is like he went a little bit off. So hopefully that's just his sophomore slump, and then the next year he's better. I did see that game against Seahawks and Cowboys, though. There was it Cole Beasley who was wide open, and he ended up throwing in coverage and then ended up getting a pick six. I mean, you have a receiver wide open, and you don't see him. and then you throw the other way in coverage, and then you get a pick six. That's something I think Dak Prescott needs to work on too. But at least Zeke's gonna. If Zeke stays out of trouble, I think he will. Whitney and Beasley were wide open. I almost fell off my couch. LOL. Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, if those guys are wide open, but he threw at the other guy, so a lot of stuff didn't go Cowboys' way in that game. But it didn't end up mattering anyways, though, because the next week the Falcons ended up winning their game and the Seahawks lost, so it didn't really matter. So the Falcons ended up getting the 6th seed anyways. I think Cowboys will be back stronger next year. They just got to work on a few things. But they'll be back. Two games pissed me off. Yeah, I did fuck you guys up. You guys should have ran it with, I think it's going to be either the Saints and Patriots or the Rams and Patriots. What about that Packers game? Weren't you guys up big too against us and then you guys ended up blowing it? A lot of those games you guys lost. A lot of the games you should have won, you lost. I think it's going to be the Rams and Patriots or the Saints and Patriots. And I think that could go either way. If it's the Rams and Patriots, I think the Saints. No, I think the Patriots will win. If it's the Saints and Patriots, I think that could go either way. I mean, but you can't bet against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick though. I mean, you saw it last year in the Super Bowl. They ended up coming back down 28-3. So Patriots should be in good position to tie Pittsburgh with 6 this year. There's no way in hell. I'll be shocked if Steelers go into Foxborough and beat them. That is, if they go. I think Patriots will automatically go to the AFC Championship game because I don't think the Titans or the Chiefs would beat them. Yep, but Aaron Rodgers couldn't count. Yeah, you gave Aaron Rodgers too much time. I mean, you guys should have learned that lesson from the divisional round last year. You don't give Aaron Rodgers that much time because you know he could always come back. But I'm glad we re-signed Devontae Adams. He was balling out this season. Yeah, that too. You know what you guys should have done? You guys should have just ran the clock out and then run in for the touchdown. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, surprisingly, the Packers and the Cowboys don't play each other next year, though. Well, we'll be sure to kick the Redskins' ass for you guys. I think Kirk Cousins might not even be back in Washington next year. I think he'll go somewhere else. Yeah, I appreciate that. Kick the Lions' ass for me. Yeah, overall though, I mean, we're getting a new GM and a new defensive coordinator. At least some changes coming to Green Bay. We gotta at least help Aaron Rodgers at least win a few more Super Bowls, one or two more, because he's not getting any younger, and it'd be a shame for him to waste his talent like that just to win one Super Bowl. Oh yeah, Cat Dog, you guys are definitely gonna have to get a quarterback because Carson Palmer did retire. So you guys are probably gonna have to draft a quarterback. Try to. I don't know who you would get in the draft though. I'd probably try to go out and get a QB in free agency maybe. Yeah, Marvis Lewis is staying out for 2 years. I mean, the Browns and the Bengals, they just never learn, it seems. Browns are usually the type of team that are fire a coach, but now they're all of a sudden now they're bringing back Hugh Jackson after going 0-16. But we re-signed McCarthy to another year. We'll see where that goes. If he doesn't do good, then obviously he's probably going to be fired. And we'll probably move on to another head coach. I guess injuries caught up to Carson Palmer. That's why he's retiring. Yeah, 15 viewers. What's up? Any questions you guys got? Yeah, I think Green Bay should have a bright future ahead of them now. I mean, obviously we made the playoffs a lot, but the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. It's to get that Lombardi trophy back to Green Bay. I mean, this year we didn't make the playoffs, but at least change is coming. That would have sucked if change would have never came and we didn't make the playoffs and we still had the same GM and the same defensive coordinator. We'll see what happens this season. Next season, I mean. And we'll see who ends up winning the Super Bowl this year. Honestly, if I would have to predict, I would probably say the Patriots. I mean, you can't bet against Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. You just can't. But maybe the Saints could surprise people. Maybe the Rams. Who knows? But we'll see. Should be an interesting season next season, too. Also, I think Green Bay will go back to the playoffs next season if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy and we put players around him. And I think our new GM will do that. It can't be any worse than Ted Thompson. It just can't. But yeah, that's pretty much about it, though. See what the Packers do next season with our new GM and a new defense coordinator, and we'll see what McCarthy does with the 1-year extension.